Okay, today we're talking about designing a portable drain pan in Fusion 360. Video playback speed has been sped up in the interest of saving time. So let's get started. So I've designed and fabricated mobile drain pans in the past for my previous employers in the heavy equipment industrial space. As the name implies, it's for draining oil, transmission fluid, hydraulic oil, etc. Out of a piece of equipment like a skid steer, a motor grader, a scraper, a rock truck, etc. for oil changes. So this can be a large capacity drain pan. I want to say right around 50 to 60 gallon capacity, all steel construction. So there's the body. It's 1/8 inch thick walled steel. I'm going to extrude out the top for the top frame made out of flat bar, pieces of flat bar. And I'm just going to make a copy of that one, and I'm going to tilt it to a 15-degree angle and place it where I want it. Yeah, it looks good. Excuse me. The reason why the top frame is going to be tilted at a 15-degree angle is to help facilitate the drainage of oil or fluids into the drain pan. So I'll use the mirror command. I'll select that object, it's a body, select my mirror plane, and I'll simply drag it over to where I want it. You could try to mirror or copy it for the two long sides, or I might just simply make a new sketch for the flat bar around the longer sides. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'll say sketch, save my work as I go. Create a sketch, and again this is 1/8 inch by 4 inch flat bar. Extrude it out using the extrude command. If you have trouble selecting it, you can hide objects, select the item, and then turn the item back on that you hid. Just extrude this out about there. Say new body, and then I'll tilt this to a 15-degree angle and place it where I want it. Using the mirror command again. I'll simply place this piece where I want it. There we go. There's our top frame. In the Render tab, we're going to paint this body of the drain pan yellow. I'll create a sketch, and we need to add some baffles to the inside of the drain pan. The baffles serve two purposes. They will add structural rigidity to the overall body of the drain pan, but the perforated holes in the baffles will reduce the amount of sloshing that the liquid does when you roll around or move around this mobile drain pan. Because you obviously don't want used oil or used coolant sloshing up and out of the drain pan when you pull it around. So again, just extruding it up, placing it where I want it. Made out of 1/8 inch thick sheet metal. I want it just right to that edge of the top frame. Right about there. Create a sketch. I'm going to make some construction lines as a guideline, and we're going to punch 3/4 inch diameter holes in this baffle. That will allow fluid to transfer from each compartment to the next. And I'm going to do a pattern. Increase my quantity. So you can see as you increase the quantity, it increases the number of holes.
Wow.
And then I'm also going to increase down. So there's my holes. So you get the idea. So that's 4 rows. I'm going to hide that body. Now I can select all these holes, and we'll use the extrude command, and inside the extrude command we'll select cut to remove material, and that will give us the actual holes in the steel plate. There we go. And there's our baffle. We'll paint it yellow, and then we'll create a copy, rotate it for the baffle going in the opposite direction. Then we use the press pull command to shorten it. Right about there. And there you go. Baffles are done. Now we're going to find a pipe coupler on McMaster-Carr's website. Go with 1¼ inch NPT. That will be our drain on the bottom front corner of this drain pan. So this pipe coupler would get welded obviously to the drain pan. And just a quick disclaimer, this video is not a paid promotion for Autodesk or Fusion 360 or McMaster-Carr. I'm just showing you what I use through the course of my career that I have found works well. The library of SAT files on McMaster-Carr's website is great. You can bring in nuts, bolts, screws, pipe fittings, and put them where you want them. It allows you to iterate quickly and easily without having to create everything from scratch
Wow.
There's also other websites you can choose to for a library of SAT files to bring in parts or components. So we'll create a sketch, make a circle, then we'll cut out that circle to remove material. There we go. And that will allow the fluid to drain out when you drain the drain pan out. Or you can attach a ball valve to this drain, or your diaphragm evacuation pump. I'm going to put an NPT plug in there, square drive. That'll be our drain. Saving our work as we go. I'm going to create a bring in a swivel caster for the front of the drain pan. So this drain pan will roll around on casters. We'll put a swivel caster on the front and 2 stationary casters on the rear. So here's our front swivel caster. I'm going to place it roughly where I want it, at the height I want. I don't want it too high because then the oil pan will sit up too high and won't go underneath a piece of equipment. But I don't want it too low where the belly of the drain pan drags on the floor, etc. I'll create a sketch on this top plate of the caster. I'll make a rectangle, find my center mark. And what I'm making here is the actual mounting plate that the caster will get welded or bolted to. We use the extrude command, extrude up 1/4 of an inch, say new body, with that little corner, yep. Move it back where I want it. And then using the fillet command, I'm going to put a radius on these outside corners for safety. Then I want to do a sketch on top of this mounting plate. And I want to create rectangles that I will extrude up to make gussets to give structural integrity or rigidity to this mounting plate. So extrude these up. Right about there, 4 inches, new body. And we'll create a sketch on this face, draw a diagonal line, corner to corner, and then we'll cut and remove the material we don't want. And there's our gussets. I'll paint these yellow. See if I can paint the wheel black. Sometimes it won't let you change the appearance of components when you bring them in. It's coming along. So next I can create a sketch again on the top of this mounting plate. And we need to install a T-handle that the employees will use to pull this oil drain pan around the shop. It's going to be a round bar T-handle. And it obviously needs to swivel up and down. I'm essentially using pieces of steel pipe that we will weld to the top of this mounting plate, and the T-handle will slide into those pieces of round pipe. So just a very simple design. Got one made, place it where I want it. I'll create a copy of it, and then I'll drag my copy over because we need two of them. There we go. Paint those yellow. So we need the actual T-handle now. So create a sketch. And we're going to use 3/4 inch round bar. We'll extrude that circle out. Say new body. Whenever you see the red, that means cut. We don't want to cut. We want a new body. And there you go. Now construct a tangent plane in front of that round bar to make a 30-inch long piece of round bar, and again all welded together. So a 3/4 inch diameter circle. First need to find my center mark. There we go, 0.75. And then we'll extrude that out in both directions. Well, I'm going to say join this time. Right around 32 inches, 30 inches, yep. You can see it's welded together. Paint it yellow for now. Let me construct a plane. And I'm going to make the T-handle that the employees will grab with their hands. Do 10 inches long. And I'll move it up front there and place it where we want it. Get it lined up. Right about there. And then we'll use a fillet command and we'll put a bevel on that handle once we're done painting it here. I'm thinking let's paint it red so it stands out more for safety. And then I want to angle it just so you can see that this does pivot up and down. The fillet command, put a nice bevel on it so it's comfortable to grip and to save our work. Now continuing on, I'll take a quick measurement here. I want to go ahead and get the rear casters installed here in a minute. I want the rear casters to sit about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch lower than the front caster, so that way the drain pan has a slight tilt forward. So any fluid in the drain pan always wants to drain down towards that drain plug. So now we want stationary plate casters. rigid or stationary. There we go. So we'll get this one placed roughly where we need it to be. And we'll create our mounting plate, our 2 gussets for this, just like the front caster. So you can see how the height is slightly off, just by a little bit from the front wheel. So that's on purpose. And then once we get this one modeled, then we'll simply copy it and move the copy over to the other side, and our rear casters will be done. So again, we'll extrude up that shape. We'll say new body, 1/4 inch thick. And we'll do a sketch on that plate. And we'll make our rectangles that will extrude up to make our gussets. It's a little bit off. Try again. Should be 5.75 by 1/4. Yep. Say finish sketch, extrude up, new body, and same deal. We'll create a sketch on the side, draw a diagonal line just like on the front. And then we'll use a cut command to remove the material we don't want. There we go. And in the render, we'll paint that yellow. We'll paint our wheel black. Back to design. Let's put a slight radius on these corners for safety. That looks good. So again, we'll select all these bodies, say create copy, and move our copy over for our other caster.
Wow.
Yep. So almost done. So now I want to create a sketch on this top face, and we need to create an expanded metal grate that is removable. So this drain can be pumped out from the top if you want, or so if you need to scrape out sludge or dirt, you can completely remove the top grate. And the top grate will also allow the employees to set components that they take off of the machine directly on top of the oil drain pan. So say if they have a transmission they want to drain the oil out of, they can turn the transmission upside down or release the drain plug and drain the oil directly into this drain pan. So there's our rough shape. I'll extrude that up. Say new body. And move it up so we can work on it. It's not letting me use the shell command, so we'll just do a new sketch on this surface of this sheet metal and create another rectangle with the center point. Find my center points, because what we're making right now is a flat bar frame that the expanded metal will get spot welded to. There we go. Finish sketch, extrude, but we'll use the cut command. There's our frame. And now I want to make 4 square tube legs. So that way, again, when you roll around this drain pan, we don't want this expanded metal grate to slide off or fall off of the drain pan. So these legs will stick down a few inches to hold the grate in place when you're rolling this thing around. So extrude this one up about 2 inches, say new body. Now we'll use that shell command. We'll do a 1/8 inch thick wall, square tubing. And we'll simply copy that, move the copy over to the other corner, like so. Now we're going to make a cross member out of flat bar to go across the center for additional structural strength. Extrude. Oops, looks like I didn't complete my sketch on that little rectangle. So I'll simply make another rectangle. There we go. Extrude. And for this, you could say new body or join. Okay. And again, obviously it's upside down right now. So now I want to bring in a piece of expanded metal. I don't need to model that. I can just bring it in as a component. Saving time. Yeah, I think this one should work. Now I only get this little piece, so I'll simply copy it or mirror it. And I could use the pattern command because I want this entire thing obviously covered with the expanded metal. Saving our work. Oops, I forgot misspelling there. So we'll paint it yellow. And then once we're all done with the expanded steel, we'll flip it around the correct way. So now I'll use the create a pattern, rectangular pattern, select my body, the expanded metal. And we'll drag out, and again, however many quantity you want in both directions. Obviously in real life, this would be one contiguous piece of expanded metal. You wouldn't spot weld together a bunch of little pieces like this. And there you go. So we'll select all those bodies. We'll rotate it 180 degrees so it's the right way around. Takes it a minute. Yeah, the more bodies you select, it sometimes will take it a minute with that kind of complicated geometry to allow you to do what you want to do. There we go. So 180 degrees. Okay. Yep, looks good. And now we'll place it. We'll move everything down so it sits flush on top of the drain pan. You can see it's thinking. Give it a minute. we go. So you can see that grate sits nicely recessed down lower than the top edge of the drain pan, because again, we don't want fluids spilling or splattering or dripping out of the top of that drain pan. And that expanded steel could be welded to the top of that frame as well. But for demonstration purposes, you get the idea. And now I want to create a decal or a stencil that says used oil on the side of this drain pan. So I'll select text, and again in the sketch, place it right about there. I'll type used oil, bold, increase the size, 2-inch tall letters. And then I'll kind of place that decal where I want it. Say finish sketch. Now I'm going to select each of these letters and extrude them just a tiny bit as new bodies. Say OK. And then in the render, we'll paint them black, each letter. Now we'll select each letter and make a copy for the other side of the drain pan. There we go. And that's going to be pretty much our finished product.
Woo!
I hope this demonstration was helpful for you. Let's take a look around. Fusion 360 is a great program for quickly and easily 3D modeling a new product. So again, there's our finished isometric view of the drain pan, front view, back view. And here was the metal fabrication process. You can see me welding it together here. And then after I painted it, there's a finished product ready for service. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.